Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here this evening with our new friends, for lack of a term, hanging out with us all the way in New York. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us tonight.
Oh my God, thank you so much. We're very happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? And the question for this episode is, if you could face off with anybody in that you want to take their face off their face and put it on your face, who would that be with?
It's been a little bit violent the last couple of times, so don't worry. Last one was who you would fight in a knife fight.
Yeah. You're swapping faces with somebody.
Okay.
It is the weirdest question. Don't worry.
This is something I remotely considered ever, but
that's fine.
Think about it. So I'm Ryan Dempsey. I'm the vocalist for lack of a term, and I'm also the rhythm guitar. And then, do I have to answer this face-off question now, or can I have time to think about this?
Take a second. Take a second.
You can popcorn over.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
I want Michael Cera's face.
Okay.
Start off there.
Why would you want that?
It's adorable. Have you ever seen it? I'm Chris. I play drums. Yeah. And I want Michael Cera's face.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on why you want to be Michael Cera?
I mean, who wouldn't? He's adorable.
He's like a little chipmunk. I would say Paul Rudd's face, because Paul Rudd just won Sexiest Man Alive, and I've always wanted people to think I'm both sexy and a man. So
and alive.
And alive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we would assume that you are alive by just standing and like taking somebody's face physically. So
I'm glad you assumed that one and not either of the other two things.
Yeah, that's the one. We're just glad that you're alive.
Yeah, I'm alive, and that we're all good. We're all on the same page there. Paul face, definitely.
Paul face.
Ryan, he won alive.
Out of the three options.
Oh, God.
Well, we have you on, I guess, now kind of specifically because your debut album just dropped. Welcome to Your New Normal. And a music video, Dirty Laundry, which I watched and really liked, really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, this is neat. This is cool. So I'm already a fan of you guys. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the record? Tell us about how it's been. I mean, it's only been a couple days as we're recording this, but yeah, if you want to tell us like how's it been? How's the record been?
Well, it was a tremendous amount of fun to record. For a fact, we always have a lot of fun with in our group. So we stood at the studio. It was not a recording studio, and the engineer there, John. Oh my God, I still can't. Niclario. Yeah, very difficult last name to pronounce. He just created a very welcoming and very positive environment for recording, and he has this cabin that bands when they're recording up there, since it's kind of it's upstate. But we just kind of crashed there, and we just watched movies, and we drank, and we laughed, and we had a good time, and it was a tremendous amount of fun. We have very fond memories of recording the album. Like you said, the album's only been out for a couple of days, so I'm sure we're gonna have very fond memories of the album, moving forward. But so far, everyone that's listened to it and reposted it and streamed it and shared it, we've been very very fortunate for the feedback, and very fortunate for the time everyone's taken to listen to the album. It was certainly as much fun as it was also a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of hours spent creatively creating these what was it, 12 or 11 songs? 12, yeah. But I'm sure it goes without saying, there's always some bumps in the road with recording. Sometimes there's some disagreements, but ultimately we all have the best interest of the collective work at heart, and we're all tremendously proud of what we recorded. And not even just the songs themselves, but the photography and all the video accompaniment that's come with it. We're all very proud. We're all very excited about every piece of effort and every scrap of effort that went into making this possible.
Well, especially with your
Did that answer the
one.
question?
No, it
Yes,
does.
it did.
It covers a good ground of it.
Well, he
And
said,
to like
yeah.
talk about like the kind of like the way that you guys were like doing production and like videography and everything like that. Your one single Always Something kind of has like a lot of like film homage to it. So do you want to talk a little bit more about like that?
Yeah, well, that's something me and Chris had talked about when we were coming up with but the videos, me and Chris are really the creative mind behind most of them. Arthur and Connor, our other two bandmates, they're kind of like, cool, let me know where to be and when. But videos and the song, that's the stuff that me and Chris spend a lot of time figuring out and trying to get right. So I was very interested in. I had never seen like a video with a food fight, like with a band, like a music video. So and I'm also a fan of cinema. So the video was just like kind of like when we do any video, you come into it kind of with inspirations and ideas of. I saw the shot in this one TV show that I think would look and operate really well within the context of this video. And with it being a food fight, I thought it'd be a cool way to pay homage to some like I don't know, like cool like war films that we're fans of and things like that. So there's a shot there that we based on this movie Platoon, very famous death scene with Willem Dafoe where he died and he like throws his arms up as he's running through enemy fire, and that shot was something I was very adamant about including. And then we have some stuff from Inglourious Basterds, some Rambo stuff. We have our friend Mike, who's actually in the band that me and Chris are playing with next Saturday. He plays in Another Astronaut. We got him somehow we convinced him to take all of his clothes off, and we threw a bunch of flour on him, and we just made him kill people with Twinkies. And that was kind of a homage to Rambo. We have some Harry Potter stuff in there. One of my favorite films is Inglourious Basterds. So
absolutely,
there's a lot of stuff. It was a very exciting video, very difficult video to shoot because when we shot it was fall, very hot, and just people. We asked for a tremendous amount of goodwill from people because we're asking you to kind of be covered in food for however many hours. Which he was very skeptical about that. I'll say that he was like. I was like, no, it'll work. It'll be fun. He's like, you're asking people to be covered in whipped cream and soda and cheese and eggs for like 8 to 10 hours. It's like it's a lot to ask people. But everyone that was in the video was a trooper. Arlene was in the video. My girlfriend was in the video. Lots of local band friends that we have were in the video. So, yeah. But that video was a way. For us to kind of pay homage to some of our favorite films, definitely.
So you kind of like had like a big like local scene like collaboration with everybody and just threw them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because my thought is like to get a band in the room together, and there's 4 of you. That's 4 individual bodies. You have to be like, hey, let's go to practice. And sometimes that is the most difficult thing in the world. The idea that you could get that many people to just come and like throw food at each other. I mean, maybe that's the sell. Maybe it's like, yo, we're just going to like do a bunch of like movie send ups with food instead of bullets. But I'm like, how do you get that many people to like show up and be a part of something? And it's just phenomenal that you were able to do it.
Well, yeah, we had to promise people free food. I think that was the main
That's
sell.
fair.
Yeah, because we're not millionaires, so usually local bands they'll kind of like, hey, if you can make an appearance in my video, we'll return the favor when you shoot a video, and so we're all very collaborative, very supportive of each other when we undertake these kinds of projects. So I know we've been in a couple of videos for some of the other bands that were in our video, and so we're all very supportive of each other's. Yeah, supportful is not a word. Supportive
It could
is.
be a
Make it a word.
Supportive. Yeah, we should put it on a T-shirt, but. We are all very collaborative. The Yonkers scene is very very welcoming and very embraceful in that way.
Really good. It's really nice. I don't know if I have enough band friends that could show up and do a music video.
I feel like here in Chicago, it's there. And because I know that one weekend that we were like in one music video because we were invited to a listening party. And then they're like, hey, by the way, we're filming this. We're like, okay.
Yeah. We're like,
and
why are we?
Next
what?
day, yeah. And then the next day, they're like, hey, can you get here? And we're like, we cannot work this into our schedule. If we knew a day in advance, we could have restructured things.
Yeah.
But I think I think it depends scene to scene because people do, at least here in Chicago, are pretty chill with helping out. But it is, I feel like just because we're a much busier, larger city, it's like, hey, did anyone plan this? Did anyone put
No
this
one
on the
plans
calendar?
anything. And I mean, obviously no one's paying for anything. So a lot of it is like of the goodwill of the people. Like if you know somebody who has a space that you can film a music video in, that's the friend that you reach out to. And then that friend is either like, yeah, I can be there and I can do it, or nah, it's not available that weekend. And then you're like, okay, well, we got it for this weekend. Who can come? And then 50 people say they can, and then 2 show up. And it's like,
And
okay,
I
Oh my god! Because I know when we did the food fight video, I had asked lots of people to be in the video because I wanted it to be a bloodbath. I kind of learned just from doing these kinds of projects that always assume no one is going to show up, and always have a plan for what to do with your video if no one shows up. Because that very well might be the case. I'm sure you guys, being in the music scene, you know how this goes. When you have a show and you're like, "Hey, we have the show," and everybody's like, "Yeah, great, we'll be there." And then there's like I feel like you can make an algorithm. You can the amount of people that say that they're coming to the show, subtract all of them, and then add none, and then that's how many people are going to be actually in attendance. So that's kind of when you're asking people to be in videos as well. You kind of expect a certain amount of absence from people. And that's totally fine. That's life. Things come up, but music's it's impossible to predict. I always try to plan for worst case scenario with that kind of stuff. And worst case scenario is it ends up just being the 4 of us, and we'll still try to we'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Now, who
like
would have been
characters.
covered in flour if it was just the 4 of you then? Like, who would have had the short straw?
I'm always down to have weird shit. Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Please,
weird stuff
as
happening.
much
Yeah,
as
you
you
can.
want.
It's so funny because in this video, Chris got hit in the head with the pizza, right? And he spent all day upset that he got hit in the head with the pizza. And that moment was so special to me that I when I edited the video, I made it replay twice.
Oh my god!
But
I just want to stated my main problem with this video and shooting it was that we would all be covered in food in a hot August day. And Ryan said, "Don't worry, I'll be covered in the most food." He did not get covered in food until the very end of the shoot. But I was the one who started the shoot with getting covered in soda and pizza.
But I had a face full of whipped cream by the end of it. That's not easy to get out.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to take a shower after that.
I feel like you would have to take a shower regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone had to shower that day.
I'll be honest, the person that got it the worst in that video was my girlfriend was in the video, and she was the only one pelted. We threw eggs at this girl.
Ooh.
She was covered in eggs.
Yeah.
You legally
and
owe
that's
her
not
your
something you wanna
life
be
now.
covered in. Yeah, I do. But she was awesome. Everybody else got covered. Her and Nick. We poured a whole Nick from another astronaut. He was in our video. We poured a whole I think 2 liter of soda on him, and I don't think he had a change of clothes. So a couple people got it worse than others. So we're very appreciative of the people who were like, yeah, you can just mess me up with all this stuff.
I think after this video came out, people who know us and might come be part of our music video are gonna think twice.
The most you can say is
Maybe that way.
I mean, have you ever grown up? If you guys had siblings, you'd be like, "Oh, have you ever been hit with this inanimate object?" And it's like an inanimate object or a piece of food, and then you say no, and they're like, and they hit you with it, and you're just like, "What the hell?" I think that was the equivalent, but you just amplified it. Like a few weeks ago, I was talking to my brother, and he was making tacos. And he's like, "Have you ever been hit with a flour tortilla?" And I said, "What?" And then he just smacked me with it. I said, "Whoa, what's going on here?" So I think it's like that, but it kind of just got out of proportion. So you can just tell people, listen, it is just me hitting you with this one object, and then just be like, LOL.
Now you can tell everybody.
To be fair, I was transparent. I was like, you guys are going to get messy. Just heads up.
Yeah. I do feel like most people are going to I feel like our generation, our age range, or whatever is just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen from being pelted with eggs? You're going to get a little sticky. You're going to get a little gross, and you're going to have to wash it off.
Just don't get the
just
salmonella.
Keep your mouth and your eyes closed,
yeah.
and you're saving yourself a lot of hassle. Now, I agree with you, Chris, because probably your next video is only going to be the four of you because everyone's going to be like, I want to do that again.
Or it's going to be everybody else chasing after you that you threw eggs at. So really, you could just continue it.
Maybe.
Just everyone in the video just throwing stuff at us.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm curious about dinging. I'm curious about like, so a lot of people I think have this bands get sort of sorted into like, oh, you're this kind of band, you're this kind of band, you're this kind of band, and you make videos, and you know, a lot of like metal bands or they're in a warehouse genting, there's colored lights. Cool, that's awesome, and everybody does it. But then there's like the more creative bands that are doing like these more interesting, intricate, elaborate ideas, and I just think that's like so much better, but I just think it's so rare. And I don't know if there's like a thing of like, is there something that like people don't accept musicians who also want to do other shit? Like, do we only want to see bands who are performing in a video being a band, or do we want to see bands that are like creating a video of art to go with the music art? I don't know. I've been interested in, yeah.
Welcome to the internal debate inside this band. So I have a lot of like film like background. So I love those videos that take place in warehouses, and they're very exciting. They're very cinematically composed and edited and shot of bands playing in warehouses. But to me, I feel like music videos should we try to toe the line between incorporating live band performance elements and also bringing something narratively fresh and something kind of unique, putting a spin on it. So Chris had the idea for one of the other videos we dropped, Jawbreakers, where we would incorporate live elements, but the live elements are kind of weaved into the narrative. Like there's a reason we're playing in the video that relates to the other, you know, the narrative part of the video. We did that in our video Recalibrate also, where we're kind of haunted by this girl in a white mask, and we're practicing, and while we're practicing she shows up, and to me those narrative elements and those live performance elements were weaved in a way that it was part of the story to me, and that's kind of the way I've always kind of wanted to approach videos is if we're gonna have live stuff, embed it in the narrative, have a reason for us to be playing, and we did that in Jawbreakers and Recalibrate, and I think we have some other video ideas coming up where we're gonna incorporate stuff. But I personally have never wanted to have just a live video of us playing just to have a video of us playing, because there are a million of those, and I think the best way to get people intrigued and interested in watching is to add something else, put something else on the table besides just the live element and the performance element. So that's something we try to balance on. I think every video project that we do, we try to find a nice balance between the two.
I love that. Again, yeah, it did. Just nothing against, like you said, like performance videos, because I think I found that it's just like bands need to get their face out there and they need to create something. Not everybody is going to have the same experience in film, but you know, not everybody is actors either, as we've seen from a lot of music videos of like all these like emo bands that are just like standing there dead eyed at a camera. And it's like, fantastic. You go, Hawthorne Heights. Yes, Lizzie. I did it again.
The slander.
The slander. But it's I just think it's really like, I think that there is a lot of creativity out there to be done. And I think that when you are putting together a music video to showcase what the song is about, what the band is about, who the band is, like, I just think it's so much easier to get into it. That's why I was saying at the beginning is like Dirty Laundry is like, I really like this because I like the narrative. I like the story. I like the song behind it. It's like, okay, I understand what I'm listening to. I understand what I'm watching. I can put it all together, and I like it. It makes sense to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That video is quite stressful to shoot.
Do you want to tell us
Anyways,
why,
that's
or?
Well, for us, it was an opportunity to kind of continue a narrative thread from another video we had done from our last EP. That one was called Make a Decision. So we asked the two actors that were in that video if they wanted to come back. One of them was moving to California, like with a week to spare. So we kind of had to scramble to fit him into the schedule. And just shooting that video, it was not only did we have to make it look like it was shot backwards, but we also had to make it kind of look like it was shot in one take. So to do one or the other would be simple enough, but to try to make it look backwards and like it was shot in one take, we had to shoot the video as a rehearsal, and I had to edit it first to make sure it would flow properly, and then we reshot the video.
Wow.
So it was a very time-consuming piece, but I'm very happy. It was definitely a learning experience. There was a lot I learned that we collectively learned doing that video. But with anything, I'm incredibly proud of it. I learned a lot from it, and I'm glad that we can put our name to it. And it's my favorite song on the album personally. I think the song "Dirty Laundry" is a bop, if I do say so myself.
I think it bops. I think it jams.
We love
Are
bops.
the cool kids still saying bop?
They are, because we're the coolest kids we know.
It's bop or smack. Because I've been saying that song smack. Yeah.
It bops.
That might be a Chicago thing.
I'm not doing it. It's not a Chicago thing.
You're not doing smack, Brian? You're not over there doing smack?
Listen, Brian is 200
Hey.
years old.
Catch me
He's
over at
literally
Patillo's.
200 years old.
A windy city. I don't have a good. I have a
Stop
better
that.
New York accent than a
Don't do
Chicago
that.
accent, I think.
We're going to have to do the...
What is the Chicago accent? 'Cause
I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm
I don't
still
know.
unclear on what that is.
Apparently, so there's a TikTok trend going around right now where it's like, oh, see if you're from the Midwest, mainly like Chicago area. And it's a Ferris Bueller clip. A Ferris Bueller talking about his friend Cameron, obviously. And it's like, oh, if you lip sync to this and like if you can lip sync perfectly and I guess like if your mouth goes to the side, it like accentuates an act like a Chicago Midwest accent, which I'm completely unaware of.
Yes.
I haven't tried it, but that's basically like what it is.
Kind of that more like
I don't know.
sound in like the vowels.
I've spent a lot of time in Chicago, and I haven't heard anything out the ordinary where I'm like, whoa. 'Cause I was in Boston once, and it's very clear that there's
Oh, yeah.
a dialect there.
Yeah.
But Chicago, not really.
I guess you'd
I mean,
only hear
unless
it if you heard
you-
Chicago.
Yeah, and if you only like
Chicago,
exclusively
right,
talk to like Mike Ditka, and probably
Yeah.
that's
So
they'll
unless you
say
see
the
Mike
Bears, and like
Ditka.
that's it. That is it.
I was in New York a couple of years ago and literally crossed every single crosswalk. I was drunk, so let's preface that. Every single crosswalk, I was just like, "Hey, I'm walking over here,"
Okay.
and
Can't take you anywhere,
no one
can
wanted
we?
me in New York anymore.
No one talks like that in New York.
I talked like that in New York.
Brian,
Tourists
can't
talk
take
like
him anywhere.
Yeah, a Chicagoan's idea of what New York sounds like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
More curse words.
There were a lot of curse words while I was there. It's very like I think New York and Chicago are similar in this way, where a lot of people you meet probably are not from the city of Chicago the entire time. They're from like the suburbs. Like Lizzie and I, we're both from the suburbs originally. I live in Chicago now, at least. I'm cool like that. But, a lot of people are coming from all over and they're moving to a big city because there's opportunity, there's scenes, there's more stuff going on. So it's like you're not really meeting anybody who's like that, like always from New York City, like talking like that, or Chicago. Like it's very rare I see somebody who has like that, like thick
Real
Chicago
hardcore
accent. Like,
accent.
hey, deep dish.
I don't think I've never heard anybody talk like that. I think they would be putting on an act. They'd be like,
I
okay,
know.
what's the get here? What's the get?
We're very like, dude, like relax all the time to everybody. I think Chicago's just like, what are you doing? Like, please cut that out. I don't know. It's like you just don't act strange, I guess, in Chicago.
What?
I'm the strangest I know.
Okay, edgy sad boy. Well, anyway,
Wow.
let's jump into this. In early 2020, you guys released a limited edition hot sauce. Tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what came to it? I know hot sauce is kind of like a big thing right now for bands as like a special merch item next to like coffee at this point.
Well, that was the brainchild of Arthur. He knew someone who made hot sauce like custom. And
before he can tell you about it himself. He's not here.
The shade.
But yeah, he came up with the idea for the hot sauce, and he got his person to make it, and it came out very good. It was like really cool.
Yeah, and then me and him had kind of discussed the possibility of doing coffee now, because like with merch, I think we've been trying to maybe find like ways, because everybody's got T-shirts and everybody's got hats, but I think we're trying to find things that maybe every band doesn't carry, like kind of more unique items that might make us stand out a little more. So we actually, for our release show next week, we made custom shot glasses.
Oh my god,
we're very excited about it. That might be, we're probably not the first to ever think of that, but it's definitely not something that every band carries, and so we're personally, I'm very excited to take a shot out of those glasses, personally. But yeah, Arthur came up with the hot sauce idea, and he really has a mind for getting people to, like, he knows lots of people that do graphic design and all these kinds of items. So when it comes to that stuff, he's the guy. He can tell you more about. Never mind, he's not here.
Shade.
I think coffee is something that we might look into next, because we're all coffee drinkers and we all love coffee, and we know lots of people out there too. So we think that could be a good item in our repertoire.
Yeah.
I would also say tea is another underutilized one. I know the
I
artist Sad13, she did like a limited like tea run. And I'm like, how do you make, I mean, like, I know how you make tea. It's like herbs and spices and shit put together, but like.
That's KFC.
But it's like the same thing with tea. It's like, who do you contact to make like custom tea? Because I feel custom coffee is like so easy in a sense nowadays, because everyone's kind of started to like hop on the train finally for it. But tea could be where it's at.
Yeah. And I've actually been trying to get us like a custom beer collab.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I work at a craft beer bar, and like I've been trying to like reach out to people about, just putting our name on something. Something we can like chip around and stuff like that.
I was going to ask you, okay, this will be the question of whether you would rather answer how spicy your hot sauce was, or
not.
Then we're asking the next one. What are the tasting notes of your craft beer when you make it?
Do you have like a specific idea?
Yeah. I want it to be something that like everyone will kind of like. I mean, it's whatever the brewery kind of wants to do. If they tell us, hey, we want to put your name on a stout, cool, go for it. But
I feel like the safest thing to do would be like a lager or an ale.
Lagers are actually the longest to make. So,
really?
Yeah, lager.
Interesting.
Probably not a good one. But like something that like can do temperature change as well, because we'll be on tour and stuff.
True.
So probably like a pale ale or.
How do stouts do with that? Like they need to be kept cool, right? Do
stouts could be warm.
Yeah, they're thick.
Thick
boys.
Thick.
Oh, they're thick boys.
Every time I have a stout, I feel like I ate a hamburger.
Yeah.
We actually have here. We have some more of our hot sauce. This is the last of it on the planet.
Shit.
And true, while it's not the spiciest hot sauce, it
tasted really good.
It's a chipotle pepper sauce, and it was very savorful. Very savorful is not a real word.
It is now.
It is now.
Savory.
Supportful and savorful. Yeah.
Like you mix and match endings of words with the beginning of words.
I love it.
Isn't that how all words were created at some point?
Honestly,
right? Yeah.
Every word is the brainchild of somebody who's like,
exactly.
Milk. What do you? Milk. It's just the title for the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who the came up with the word milk?
Yeah.
Somebody had to grab a prefix and a root word and put it together, and they said, this is the word, and that's it. And that's all we keep doing. That's all.
The name of every animal. Somebody had to name those animals.
And they
I'm
just
so sorry. You're not illiterate. You're thinking ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean-
your mind, you actually have mega mind energy.
I'm not stupid, man. I'm a pioneer. All right?
I'm a
pioneer in syntax and grammar.
Oh my God.
And language.
like, if you have read Shakespeare, this is a man who made up so many words, and he's seen as like, you know, one of the best writers of all time.
We don't even know who he really is or was.
Right. So basically, if you're making up words, you yourself are Shakespeare. That's just channeling Shakespeare into your everyday life. And I think that makes you a genius, if I'm being
I think
honest.
that makes you a literary genius.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm not
There's that
prepared.
I mean,
I'm not prepared for that.
you may be a
that level of
genius.
confidence.
You may be a genius before your time, right? Like, it may be like in 400 years, somebody goes, no, dude, Ryan, just so many good words.
He's got it.
Savorful.
These guys.
What was the other one I did?
Supportful.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
gonna-
you guys understand what you just did to me. When we're recording our next song, we're gonna be like, Ryan, that doesn't make sense. He's gonna be like, actually, I'm a lyrical genius.
I just
I'm
want
a
you to
lyrical
know.
genius.
I'm
It was
basically
confirmed on this
Shakespeare.
recorded podcast.
Yeah.
I was told I was Shakespeare, so it's gonna stay.
Look, I'm just saying, like, whenever somebody says, you didn't, you made up a word, it's like, yeah, like a genius would. Because then everyone's going to go, shit.
Just
Maybe he's
remember,
right.
you're gonna be better than all these like literary bros out there, and be like, oh, like I read like
Stop.
like Knobcock or something. You're gonna be
Use
like,
words other people make up. Like,
My
Oh,
self-esteem is too low for that.
my self-esteem is on the level of using other people's
I mean,
language.
really, like we've all got good heads on our shoulders in this band, but really, I gotta give it to Arthur. Arthur's like, he's like the smartest guy in the band.
Chris's face right there. He's like,
no, I'm being serious. He's got near impeccable math skill.
listen, there only has to be one person in a group that knows math, and that's it. And then you're okay. You can do whatever
Arthur's
else.
that guy for us, definitely. He's the guy when we need numbers figured out. He's the go-to, definitely. I'm hopeless with numbers personally.
Same.
Gotta
I
be
met
there
with a
words.
student today, and he was like, "Oh, this is such like a good break from my computer science class because I usually just look at like equations." I said, "I don't know how to do math. We'll never have math in here." He's like, "Good, keep it that way." I said, "Yeah."
I'm assuming then, since he's your bassist, that he's probably the one coming in to a songwriting session and going like, okay, and here's like the polyrhythm that can go over this part. And you're like, dude, no.
quite the opposite.
Do you want us to to that?
I mean, are you
I'll
guys...
be like, oh, I figured out this new bass line. It goes like this, and Arthur will be like, I got to do all that. Seems like a lot.
So what we're hearing is you will never be a math rock band, point blank.
Yeah, most likely.
Maybe not.
Too much thinking.
I love what Arthur comes up with. We have another song on our last release on our EP Recalibrate, and there's a song on it called Sweat Out This Impulse, and he came up with this absolutely incredible bass line. I enjoy what he brings to the table when he brings something to the table. But he's a creative guy, definitely. I would say that bass line on Sweat Up This Impulse is probably my favorite bass line in any song. It just complements the guitar in a way. Because I've never kind of been a fan when you have a bass part that is just a carbon copy of the guitar part. It's just them playing the guitar part on the bass. I like when bass lines kind of find a way to complement the guitar, and they're doing two different things, but in a way that they complement each other, and that bass line he has on that song absolutely does that. So that's I think what we're aspiring to have in our bass parts moving forward, and there's definitely a lot of that on this new record for sure.
And also on this new record, you had some guest vocalists, and we were talking a little bit prior to us getting live on here about how vocals on your part and also her part were a bit of a concern.
Yeah, so before we were on air, we talked about there's the video we just released that we were just talking about, Dirty Laundry. We had a guest vocalist by the name of Lauren West, this absolutely incredible vocalist. She plays in this band called American Pinup, and we when we were coming up with the album, there were a couple songs that we thought would be really cool to have some guest vocalists on. So one of them was Jawbreakers with Nick Keyless from Another Astronaut, and this one, Dirty Laundry. So we asked Lauren West because we were trying to figure out who would be, who would complement the song the best as a female vocalist, because Dirty Laundry is a love story. So we thought it'd be very cool to have the perspective of one person in the relationship and the perspective of the other person. So she was more than willing to do it, which greatly excited us. And it was so funny because when I had tracked the whole song before she came in, just so she could listen to it and hear kind of what she needed to do. And what the sort of the vocal melody was and the vocal journey, whatever. And she got there. She was like, "I'm super excited to do this," but like, wait a minute, I thought I was doing the female part though. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "It sounds like there's a girl singing the entire song." And I was like, "No, well, that's all me." And she's not the first person to say that I have a very feminine sounding voice. It's so many people have told me this. I'm starting to wonder maybe they're onto something here. But
I remember she told the engineer John. She told him that like, oh, it's actually really helpful that he got like a girl to come in to like do my parts so I can hear what it sounds like. And Oof. John was like, no, that was Ryan.
Yeah. Hey man, these are the pipes my mama gave me. So, yeah. What do you want me to do? Sue me. This is what I got.
You got to sing every song like a New Yorker.
Yeah, don't sue me. I don't have any money. But it's with my voice. Yeah, on a serious note, it's what I've got. So, I don't know how much I can do to sound more masculine, but I don't know how important that is also. I just think as long as there's a catchy hook and a catchy melody and a good voice to accompany it, I don't think it matters what the voice sounds like. So, but it was that moment was definitely hysterical and definitely a little humiliating. But yeah, Lauren killed it though. She did.
I remember growing up, every time I, play a song for in my mom's car, right? We're driving somewhere and I'm like, oh, let's listen to Coheed and Cambria. And it's like, is this a girl singing? I'm like, no, it's actually a very tall dude with big hair. And she's like, well, it sounds like a girl. And it's like, well, it's not. And then who else? Dance Gavin Dance, Tillian sounds like, it's these high-pitched voices. And the only thing I'm mad about is Why Not Me Too? Because now I'm in my car singing and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm blowing out my voice. I can't sing to this. And I'm just driving. Like, why am I doing this?
Your mom is driving.
At the time, it depends.
You're hurting her.
I'm not screaming with my mom in the car, No, Mom, man your own jackhammer, Just throwing out a couple names that were mentioned in the chat. Kellen Quinn and Vic Fuentes. Yeah. So, like, Here's the Veil was one that everyone I played that for was like, who's this girl singing? Like, why is this a girl? I'm like, it's not, dude. Yeah. And he's cool. And he's cool.
That's what I'm trying to tell people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, I really don't think that I think that everything has its place. I think that people just, I think it's a little bit too much expectation that bands are fronted by men. Like if you're listening to a song and you hear a voice and the pitch of the vocalist is higher, why are you concerned whether it's a guy or girl singing? Like, why aren't you just like, no, it's the song that it is. And then if you're like interested in the band, you go, oh, let me check out, let me check this out. Let me check out who does this. Like, oh, that guy's got a really high voice. That's really cool. Like he can hit these pitches that I can't hit, that other people can't hit. Yeah. Like it's just that's the talent, and that's cool, and that's just like if a guitarist can like do sweeps and shit, you're like awesome, good for you, man. No one ever asks is that guitarist a girl? All right, just saying. Misogyny, patriarchy.
Oh my God, Fry.
That is a good point. That is a very good point.
Brian out here trying to be the most feminist again.
Just really still mad at my mom. Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think you should be. You know, I think we got to change the thing. It's like, you know, emo is high pitched vocals and guys. I don't know.
Wow, I was about to say, like,
I'm trying to think of like, how do we change it? And I'm like, I mean, probably not here on this recording, but you know, one day I hope that people like, yeah, just, I don't know. Music is just, everybody goes in with their expectations. Like I was saying about like, oh, this band is just going to be a band playing in a warehouse. And it's like, there's all these expectations that people have of bands and the music scene. And especially like if you're on more of a local level versus like a national level and those kinds of things, it's the expectations you go in with are, I'm kind of happy a lot of them are falling off. People are realizing like there's a lot of other people that need to be represented in music and are getting the stage now. So I think that stuff's pretty nice.
We have a very special guest here, ladies and gentlemen.
He just charged into my house.
I love it.
Come on, sit down.
Talking a lot of shit.
I did nothing but compliment him for an hour and a half, all right?
Yeah.
That is not true.
I said you're good at math. I said you came up with lots of...
A lie.
He is the worst at math, guys. He is the worst. But he's the best at like merch ideas and stuff, like I said. Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna wait till this is over. I got something for you.
I mean, I think the whole like, oh, hey, let's talk. Never mind that he's not here. Listen.
Yeah. I mean, it was a compliment that he showed Danny DeVito on my place.
Yeah,
you know?
seriously.
Oh yeah, Chris has a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito.
Like every household.
Yeah.
It's casual.
Honestly,
It's
yeah,
just,
it is kind of a lot of people do have that.
like you have to have like a card. I think that's what the sign of being a true adult is having a cardboard cutout of someone in your house that's famous. Like one of my friends has like I don't know anime, but she has like a Dazai cutout. If anybody's an anime nerd, but she just has it in her room, and I think that she's very adult.
I only watch like 90s anime because I'm kind of pretentious about it.
Sure.
Okay.
I watch anime, but I don't know who that is. Arlene, do you know who Dazai is? Never mind.
No.
I mean, she's in the chat. She could probably tell us if she could.
If somebody has to know. Somebody here has to be a weeb. It's not me. It's usually Brian.
I mean, I only watch a lot of like 90s anime too, but that's because it was like the year 2001, 2002. And it's like I'm a child and I'm watching these cartoons that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
That's all I do. I just rewatch old shit because new shit lets me down.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm the same for both anime and music. But have you rewatched Cowboy Bebop at all recently?
Yes, actually. I heard they were doing the live action. I was like, I actually haven't seen that in a couple years, and I rewatched it. It was canceled.
No.
They literally canceled that season 1. It was breaking. Comicbook.com just
So I actually watched Cowboy Bebop for the first time.
The live one or the...
No, the original one. I watched it for the first time a few weeks ago. And I liked it. It was good. And then I watched the Netflix version like right after. And I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I thought it held up.
The Netflix anime adaptations don't have a good track record because I know Death Note, it was like universally hated.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
It was very rough.
I can't think of an anime live action adaptation that people like.
Very, very few. And I think it's because they're taking something that is like created not for a Western audience and then trying to change it to a Western audience. Yeah. And it's like, dude, the kids that are getting into anime understand it as it is. You don't need to change it so that we understand it better. Like, I don't know. It's like, just keep it what it is. We already had it. Why are you telling me I have it at home?
Yeah. Do you like Attack on Titan?
I like Attack on Titan, but I haven't finished the second season since it came out because I haven't had time.
I'm actually in the process of rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho right now.
Ooh, I remember liking that a lot as a kid.
And they're doing a live action adaptation of that now. Netflix is.
Boy.
I'm not kidding.
Netflix, just relax.
It's not going to be good. It's not.
It's gonna be pretty bad.
gonna write
I don't get how they were going to do a season 2 of Cowboy Bebop when the show is only 20-something episodes.
Yeah, it's one season.
It was only 10 That's awful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to watch it.
I thought it was pretty good.
Nope,
Yeah.
not giving it a chance.
I will. I'm trying to finish it. I've been really lazy about getting to the last two episodes of the anime. I want to do a video on it because I'm like, oh, I remember like being a kid and there's like a lot of anime that feels very emo, and I'm like, oh, I want to get into like the emo vibes of the show, and then I'm watching it and I'm like, not really at all. Like it's just like there's like some moments where it's like, oh, my girlfriend, but like that's it. That there's no
That's
like
the whole thing, though, Brian. That's the
it's
entire.
not made understandings of what emo culture is from a media standpoint, and now I'm going to do video essays on it.
Well,
that's
crazy.
the dream.
I can just critique your script before you do it.
No.
Wow.
For what it's worth, the last couple episodes of Cowboy Bebop are probably the ones I would say just stream you watching them, because there's the most. I feel like those episodes have the most to absorb.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to go through. There's a lot going on. Everything kind of comes full circle, so it's nice. It's a nice little bow, and you can be like, I'm glad I got to experience the end of this with you guys, and then have it segue into something else.
Exactly. I like it.
Mega mind energy here.
This is why we're now going to ask you just a bunch of questions about what we should do for merch and what we should create for.
Almost every time we have been on the podcast, everybody leaves with a new merch or some type of interactive idea. That's also a part of our podcast now, apparently, unofficially.
I also Ryan touched on it earlier. He was saying we're looking at coffee, and that might be coming sooner rather than later. I'm just going to leave that at that.
Ooh.
He was like, "Ooh, I would love if we did a coffee." Arthur's probably going to hop on that, and then you started talking shit.
Then he starts talking shit.
I see. I may or may not have secured the bag. We're going to leave that up in the air, though. But yeah,
We have another cost incoming. Yeah.
What region is it from? Because I'm more of an Ethiopian coffee type chick.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't even know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I was honestly, I'm gonna let you know straight, be full transparent, have really low expectations, because I went in, I was like, all right, so I don't know much about coffee, but I like diners. I like their coffee. So
Oh no.
Yeah.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives coffee.
And I'm gonna come back on this, and I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna go,
Okay.
This is Flavor Town.
Yeah.
This is Flavor Town. These are the tasting notes. It is bacon grease. It is hash browns, and it is deep fried cinnamon roll, and that's it. And honestly, that's
I'm
not that
having
far
it.
off from
I'm
McDonald's
having it.
tasting notes of coffee, and it's pretty good sometimes.
You can't forget the key ingredient: cookies that are wrapped in plastic. That
Yes.
when you open them, because they're so old, they crumble.
Oof.
Like the old cooking powder. Yeah, that's a key ingredient.
Look.
Brought back a memory.
Yeah.
Well, that was like deep in there.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I want the shit out of that. Like the description of it, maybe not the best, but like, no, I want the shit out of that right now. I'm like,
So
where's my
doing
bagged cookies?
Doing a Band Beans video is just going to be, instead of saying, hey, here's a French press, here's a V64. No, straight into the fucking coffee pot,
Yeah.
old school style. We don't know how to measure anymore.
Yep.
Just dump it in and hope for the best.
Love it.
I told them too. I was like, do not. I want you to just run this through your coffee filter a few times and your Keurig, whatever, your K-cup. And I don't want you to wash it. I literally just want you to put the grinds in there, let them sit for a couple days, put it back. I want to taste the like nasty leftover flavor as well.
Yeah.
I want the full diner experience.
You realize we got to sell this coffee, right?
It's okay.
That's how you get that taste. That's just instructions.
Everyone knows what it is. They
Just do
don't
a
make
photo
sense.
shoot in a diner. Just go in at like 3 a.m. That's when you're going to have it. And you're going to be like, I need to borrow one of your little dingy mugs and put my shitty coffee in here to promote for my great band. And that's it. And then,
That's
by the
great
way,
because-
can I have some pancakes? Thank you.
Chris loves photo shoots. That's his favorite thing to do.
Cute.
Ryan always wants to, spend an arm and a leg on a photographer, but we won't budge. We work with some nice people, you know.
I just want to say you can really feel the tension from sitting in between them.
Someone's about to get beaten up as soon as this goes off air.
Oh, the second we're off. This is the last you're seeing of us.
Oh, that's crazy. And,
got the final
and
interview.
Arlene is going to be locked in the room. She won't see or hear anything either.
It's all good. I actually broke your G-Con sticks. I broke them and put them in the garbage too. So you have like no defense either. So if it happens, just know that.
I have these hands. That's all I need.
I have these two hands.
So is the face that you are stealing then going to be Ryan's or Chris, or is it going to be Danny DeVito's?
Well, full transparent. I mean, I'm just going for Ryan. I feel like, and Chris has my back. I know that. So.
Yeah.
And even if Chris didn't help me, I've known him longer. I don't think he'd work against me. I feel like at most he'd be like, I'm not in this. So as long as I
Don't crash your house. That's all.
it's okay. We're gonna go outside with your dog Basil.
Oh, the only witness.
I'm going to make a very seamless transition to another question, and then we're going to do plugs and stuff. So look at how seamless I'm being. This coffee, do you think it'll be available at your album release show on December 17th at the Garage?
I do
Seamless.
not. I do
Seamless.
not. This wouldn't be executed in time, but it will be at a future date, and I will leave it at that.
Obviously, if it won't be ready by then, it'll be ready at a future date. That was kind of
You mean the future date of December 18th when you're helping out your homies?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be ready yesterday, so of course it's gonna be ready in a future date.
December 18th. You're not about to come at me on live right now, dude. You know what I meant. And you just want to be a little bully.
Yeah, a little bully.
This is what we do. We bully each other and then we beat each other up off camera.
See, Brian, it's normal. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're like 5'10" of just bitchy.
Arthur's 6'4" of stupidity.
I wish I was either height of anything.
Yeah. Do you guys want to give a plug for your December 17th show at the Garage for the album release? That was my transition and hopeful plug there.
I think that was better.
Oh, that was seamless. Not the beginning part, but that was seamless.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, but let's talk about this thing instead.
Like,
I did my best.
One of you guys, you plug it, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
You take the forefront.
Yeah. We got a show coming up December 17th with our friends in Jukebox Romantics.
They're releasing an EP.
Yeah, they're releasing stuff too. It's gonna be like a double release party thing. They're super cool, awesome guys.
We have Nuclear Heartbreak on it too.
Nuclear Heartbreak.
And then I think the band's called Hearts Open. Don't quote me on that. I'm really sorry. But they're really good friends of Jukebox Romantics. We actually have not met them yet, but they are super dope.
Hearts Open.
Yeah, it is Hearts Open. Yeah, they're just helping us ring it in. They're locals to the area. And yeah, they like renovated the whole venue too. So there's like, if you're in the area, there's like an arcade and shit, and like there's like multiple floors now. And
yeah, we're really happy to be doing it at the place. It's called. Well, I think they changed the name. It's Garage
Lucy's,
at
right?
Lucy's.
No,
Yeah.
the venue part is apparently just called the Garage at Lucy's, but it's still called Lucy's from what I understand.
Lucy's was this really cool bar we played at a while ago, but they closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And they're like just reopening now. And like we're excited to be going back there.
Yeah, we actually have a fantastic memory of Lucy's where they do a music festival every year up in Pleasantville called the Pleasantville Music Fest, and we were doing it. Yeah, man, who would have thought? But they would do like the competition at Lucy's, and there were a lot of really, really good bands there. And we played, and we were just like, let's just be us and have fun and whatever. And we won. That felt pretty cool. So we have pretty fond memories of Lucy's, definitely. So we're excited it almost kind of feels full circle to do it there. The album release. Because that's the first place where we thought, we're not terrible at this. Yeah, so that's awesome. Those were fake laughs.
Is this your first show since
Post-COVID.
COVID, like post COVID? Is this the first time you played?
No, we've done a few since then.
I think we've done one a month since like July.
Yeah, and then we went
Okay.
on a run like 2 months ago.
Yeah, we did like a small string of dates. We did like 2 shows. We did one in like Croton, one in Yonkers, and then I think we did that string of dates, and then we did one October show and one November show. Am I remembering?
Roughly,
Yeah. So I think we've
But we've definitely played. Maybe not as consistently as we used to, but
We're trying to get back to it.
yeah, exactly.
Do you have tour plans? Tour plans? I said that so
Yes, we
ominously,
do.
but it's
I
like,
was about to say, like, why would you say it like that?
will you be touring soon?
Oh no, Brian.
that gave me goosebumps vibes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a positive thing said in a dramatic way, I guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think after February. I think
Early
we
next
were
year.
talking about March or something around that time. But definitely.
We're definitely getting back out there just because obviously when you put out new music you want to support it and you want to do all you can to make sure it circulates and get its fair due, if you will. And so we've definitely got a lengthier couple of dates to just push everything we have coming, just because we just put this out, so obviously there is more to come. So
Yeah.
dates are definitely included.
Dates coming soon. We're almost at an hour, so I want to give you a chance to throw out some plugs and where everybody can find you, the band, or you individually as well. And then we will take some questions from our friends hanging over in the chat on Twitch. So yeah, why don't you tell us where can everybody go and stream the record 1 million times by the album
By
release show?
Monday. On the 17th, you're gonna give them an extended period.
I'm giving extended time for this. Yeah.
Wow.
Spotify, Apple Music. Do we have it anywhere else?
Is it on Bandcamp?
We have it
I
on
think
YouTube.
it's pretty much everywhere. Wherever DistroKid sends it. It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It should be on. You said Apple Music. Right?
Yeah, we're on-
Spotify definitely. It might be on Bandcamp, but if you have Bandcamp, I'm going to assume you have Spotify too. So.
Well, the money, if they buy it on Bandcamp, does that go to you?
It does.
It does.
I
So
hope so.
never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, if you could listen to Bandcamp.
Go to Bandcamp.
And then we're on pretty much every platform, I
Yeah.
think, except Twitch until now.
Now here
There
you
we
are.
go.
Here you are for all the people.
But yeah, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram,
Facebook, yeah,
Facebook,
IG.
all of that. Facebook, I feel like Instagram's like my primary go-to.
Yeah, I think Instagram and Twitter. I don't feel like people really use Facebook anymore because
No.
there's
It's
all
bad.
these algorithm concerns, and
Yeah.
it just seems that we reach more people on Instagram or Twitter.
Definitely.
But we are on everything. But it seems I think we're probably a little more prominent and with our posting on I would say Instagram is probably our
I post on that story pretty much like
pretty
every
much
day.
daily. Yeah.
Dude, that's good.
But yeah, we're on every platform pretty much. So for lack of a term, something will come up and it'll be one of us or the band page. So
Yeah.
Just go there and just bully somebody
Mhm.
ominously, and then see who comes back with it.
Yeah.
That's it, and then you'll know.
Just like figure out who's paying attention, who's talking shit. Then you get to like, I've made a connection. Well, cool. This was wonderful. Everybody who is listening to this later, not everybody here in the chat, we're staying with you. You're stuck with us. Everybody who is listening, go check out For Lack of a Term. I'm like, I just saw Dugan come in and I'm like, hi Dugan. But
I
also
just
we're
got
not
here.
ending. We're still going to chat a little bit.
Oh wait, Arlene just said Arthur is like me. He's the only one who does the TikToks.
Yep,
In
yep.
this.
Oh, look. No.
Yeah.
On the TikTok, it's literally me doing TikTok trends and promoting, and it's like videos of us on tour or in the studio. That's literally all it is. If that sounds remotely, if you liked old school tour vlogs, don't go in thinking you'll get that because you won't. It's really DIY and really, really fun. And it's something I enjoy doing. because I don't know if they've told you, I'm something of an actor myself.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
I like to go on there.
Was that a Spider-Man reference?
Sure fucking was.
Yeah.
Just quoted Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Not
Are you
Willem
hyped for
Dafoe.
Spider-Man? We're very hyped for Spider-Man.
Okay, I'm so fucking hyped for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
We have a row of tickets. I kid you not. We literally
A
have seats
row.
to like. We have like seats like 6 to 19.
Yeah, we have like
Oh my God.
The first screening.
the first possible screening of Spider-Man. We have
Holy
tickets.
shit.
So you're the ones that people are gonna jump now for these tickets.
Oh, I will die for this movie. No one's touching me. No one's touching me.
They're Spider-Man fans. We're not that scared.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, no.
I'll go toe to toe with a toddler before I lose my seat. I don't even know that. I don't care what it is.
It's not a threat. That's a promise.
It's hitting. Sometimes, listen, babies need to be taught a lesson sometimes.
You
early
only
on, so they
learn-
don't fuck up later.
There's only one way to learn. This has been the longest outro I've ever done. But thank you for joining us. For lack of a term, go watch the videos. Go stream it. 1 million streams by December 17th when their album release show is coming. Go check them out on all of their channels to know what's coming up. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
thanks, dudes.
Thanks for letting me come in halfway and threaten Ryan. I
Yeah.
didn't do that on camera a lot.
I wasn't threatened.
You were threatened.
You were promised.
You might have shot a threat, but it's on me to determine whether I'm threatened or not. You know,
Is it?
You were.
That's
You
true.
decide.
That is kind of true.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to do a poll. We'll have to do a Twitch poll. Was Ryan threatened or not?
hey man, yo, that's for me to decide.